Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Peace. Welcome to another video. So, the long-awaited update to the Traptrix Therion Rikka deck. So, I'm going to show you guys a post Battles of Legend Monstrous Revenge list, and probably the next day you'll get a combo video on this. So, same thing as before, you want a lot of monsters in order to start your 2-card combos. This is a combo deck. You can treat it as a control deck, but I think this deck has a lot more potential because of your access to the extra deck. But if you are stopped from summoning from the extra deck in some way, this is a very good control deck as well. So 3 Murmelio, 3 Mantis, 3 Pudica, 3 Arachnocampa, and 2 Dionea. So these are your names. Pretty strong suite of names. This should help you increase your consistency. Next up is the Therion package. So you've got your 2 Lily and your 1 Regulus. Obviously the field spell as well. You could probably increase the package, but this is what works the best. We do still play the Mardell Generator Boss of Light. A very cheap card that you can include that makes making Apollosa very easy. Now, this used to be a very big brick, but post Battles of Legend Monstrous Revenge, we now have access to Cattycorn. This says that if it's special summoned, and you do not control a field spell, you get to search your deck for any field spell. So you play 2 field spells in this. You play 1 of each of the Traptrix field spell, Traptrix Garden, which gives you an extra normal summon and the ability to banish one of your monsters and summon a Traptrix from your grave or hand. Or you can add your Therion field spell. Both are very good options. Next up, I think these are the last monsters. Yep, these are the last monsters. The Parallel Exceed. So this just gives you extenders, lets you basically have a free rank 4 on your field. You can either use it for Rafflesia going first to protect your board, or you can use it for like an Exciton Knight to crack your opponent's board. There's many options for rank 4s in the extra deck, and you'll see that when we get there. Next up, 2 Prosperity. So this card isn't 100% good in this deck. You're never drawing cards, so it never conflicts in that way. The extra deck is pretty tight, but you can kind of tell what you're going to need and what you're not going to need, and sometimes you only need to hit 3. Where this card shines is if you're going second and you're digging for a board breaker, like an Evenly Matched or something in your side deck. So that's why you play the 2 Pot of Prosperities. Last spells are the 2 field spells I mentioned, the Traptrix Garden, extra normal summon, and the Therion Discalcium, which provides battle protection, follow-up, and searches on activation. Next up, the rest is traps. So the Traptrix Holotea, the new Shade Brigandine of the deck that lets you just special summon a level 4 and activate a trap on your turn 0, which triggers your Sarah. Very awesome. This is how you combo. Then a bunch of the one-ofs. Floodgate Trap Hole, Gravedigger's Trap Hole, Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, the Terrifying Trap Hole, and then finally the Bottomless Trap Hole. Next up is some of your going second traps. It's important that these are normal traps and you have a lot of normal traps so that you can always trigger your Holotea, because unlike Shade Brigandine, where Shade Brigandine says you can't have any traps in your graveyard, the summon effect of the Holotea to activate it on turn 0, or your first turn rather, is that you must discard a normal trap card on activation. So we play extra normal trap cards. Infinite Impermanence. This card's great for targeted effect negation. You can even draw it as your 6th card and negate something. It's not too expensive. It's been reprinted a few times. And in addition to that, it can negate something in a column And on top of that, you can activate it directly from your hand, and it's a normal trap. Like, there's just countless things that are good with this. And then this structure deck came with 3 evenly matched. So yeah, notice how neither of these play into triple tactics talents, which is really nice. I know that some people like to play Ash or other hand traps in their deck, but this is that's the beauty of this specific deck, is that you don't really care what your opponent makes, especially post-siding, because of your blowout cards and your strong engine, and you end up being a control matchup anyway, so you're gonna end up sending a couple back row. Next up, let's take a look at the extra deck. So for the Traptrix monsters, you run 2 Rafflesia. I mean, you probably don't need to. This is definitely something you're going to be banishing 1 off Prosperity. The 1 Allomeris, this is very good in certain niche situations, and you need to make sure that you have one to special summon from grave. Pingulia, this is a disruption on your opponent's turn, and you can also detach to search, which is really awesome. So this is definitely very powerful. You don't need more than 2 Sarah, guys. You don't need more than 2. Just learn how to play the game. Kularia is useful sometimes. End phase, you get to bring 1 back, which is really nice. And then Oedipus, which can negate face-up cards and then destroy one of them by banishing a trap, which is really useful. So that's the Traptrix portion. So like half the extra deck is Traptrix monsters. Next up, your Rikka engine. So you got Rikka Queen Strenna and your Hyperiton. So this is part of the combo. You tribute this off with your next card, Aromaseraphy Jasmine, and you get to summon a free negate for your opponent's turn. And yeah, I mean, it's just plussing so hard. And then wrapping it up for the extra deck, you have some utility, Exciton Knight, Time Thief Redoer. This is especially useful since Holutea is considered a trap card when it's as a material here, so you get the special ability of Redoer to put something back on top of your opponent's deck. And then you have Zeus because you're an Xyz-based strategy. Final card is the Apollosa Bow of the Goddess. That's part of your end board usually. Side deck. Now, this may be changed for your locals, but I like the Insect Kaiju. This could be Dark Ruler no more, but I like being able to deal with 1 single threat immediately. It's also an insect, which helps with some of the cards in your extra deck. If you do draw 2, you can Kaiju over your opponent's monster, special summon the other one, and then you do have some link plays that you can do. It doesn't restrict you that much. In addition, it's level 8, so Kashtira can't overlay with it. And it's super budget. I think it came with the structure deck, so it's just the most useful one for this specific variant. And then it plays around anti-spell fragrance. You already don't play a lot of spells. You don't want to end up making yourself in a situation where you lose to something that you were not losing to before already. So this is just another way to play around anti-spell by playing Kaijus instead of Dark Ruler no more, for example. Next up, speaking of losing to anti-spell, just for those back row decks, honestly, they're probably not thinking of siding in anti-spell or anything to stop you from activating spells unless it's part of their combo and they play Secret Village of the Spellcaster or something crazy like that. But at that point, you just use your monster engine to out their board. But this is just useful for those matchups where you think that there's going to either be a lot of back row or a bunch of face-up attack position monsters at their end board. These are just pretty useful cards. Start your turn off with this and then try and combo after that. Next up is D-Barrier. When you're going first, just take out the evenlies and put in the D-Barriers if you're facing a strategy that can actually out your or not out a strategy that actually summons from the extra deck. But if you're like playing something like Fluandereeze or something else that doesn't summon from the extra deck, then I've got another card coming up a little bit later. Going first, since this deck has only 4 main deck spells and 3 side deck spells, Anti-Spell is a very strong card for slowing down your opponent. After turn 0, you essentially don't need to play spells. I used to play this in Kashtira, but then I realized that it made so many of my top decks so much worse, and I actually lost a tournament because of anti-spell. But in this deck, you will never have that problem. Your monster engine and your trap engine carry your entire deck. You'll never be in a situation where, unless you top deck one prosperity or something, but you'll never be in a situation where this is going to screw you over like it would in many, many other decks. And then finally, this deck loses hard to evenly matched with some sort of effect negation. If they can bait your Therion Regulus, then your board will be susceptible to evenly matched. Or if they Dark Ruler your board and you didn't open the anti-spell, they can evenly you in games 2 and 3. So Judgment is just there to be able to stop the giant board breakers that are going to disrupt your board, because your board ends on very heavy monster negation. Keep an eye out for that combo video. Like I said, it'll be similar to the old one, but now with a copy of Cattycorn in the deck, we have a lot more lines, and the deck bricks less often. You can open up the Mardell if you draw it, you can still combo, which is so amazing. And now, because of that, you don't necessarily need to open Pudica like you did in the previous combos to have access to your Traptrix Garden. Cattycorn can just search it for you. So I'm very excited to show you guys that combo, but hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Keep an eye out for that. Subscribe if you want to see it. Comment down below if you have any comments about the deck profile, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.